It's your boy Concert Viz 34, and today I'm over on my hip hop side of things. Wanted to give a review for the show I went to yesterday. It was the championship tour. Kendrick Lamar and the rest of TDE pulled up to Hartford, Connecticut. If you've been watching my videos that I uploaded yesterday and you're wondering who is this kid, why is this the first hip hop video he's uploaded in a while, and there's a bunch of the whitest music ever on my page. Well, it's your boy Concert Viz 34. I go to concerts of all different types of genres, and I try to document a little bit of it. I try to enjoy a lot of it. You see parts of these videos, but a lot of the show I'm sitting down talking to people next to me, around me, walking around the venue, checking it out, because I love sharing a little bit of the experiences, but also enjoying most of it without my camera recording. So this is a review of the Kendrick Lamar show I went to yesterday. I have a couple videos up. I'll be uploading a couple more, so stay tuned for those if you want to check out how it looked. From the soundboard, I had amazing seats for the show, and I picked up a single ticket last minute from Ticketmaster. So let's talk about this show. This is really a showcase. This tour is a showcase of what Top Dog Entertainment has become since 2014, when they, or excuse me, 2004, when they originally established themselves as a label. And they are a label that came from this underground type vibe to now Kendrick has taken over the mainstream, at least for a certain segment of the mainstream. And he's a Pulitzer Prize winner. You know, I remember Nas was rapping about being a Pulitzer Prize winner on Hate Me Now, and Kendrick Lamar is at that level. And this was a great show. I want to give some things I liked, some things I disliked, and some things I thought that could have been improved just a little bit. And one of the big things about this show is SZA, the AKA the chick who wrote some side chick anthems from TDE. She is not on this tour at this point. She was removed from the tour very early on due to some issues with her vocal cords, and we wish her the best because she was and is a rising star, and it looks like her next album may be her last, but hopefully they can find something there surgically or medically if she takes some time off so that she can still get out on the road with her fellow TDE members. So I missed a couple of the first acts. We had Sir or SIR and Lance Skywalker. I think I came in when Lance Skywalker was performing. I couldn't tell the difference between SIR and Lance Skywalker. But, you know, those were really the openers. And the lines at the Xfinity Theater have been more complicated, so I couldn't get in time. They have these special fast pass lanes, which were the main entrances. So now they make the other lines longer to make you pay $10 to get in quicker. But anyway, those were the really acts that were opening. The first act that I saw fully was Solo, aka Absol, and he did his thing. He did like 3 or 4 songs: Huey Newton, and Illuminate, and War Backwards, aka Raw, and he came out with the bow and arrow. And every character, every artist comes out with their own sort of sporty personality, character, and it was a cool thing that they did that just because it adds a little bit of a theme. You know, this is the championship tour. They're celebrating the platinum plaques, the gold plaques, the Grammys, and the nominations for Grammys, like SZA. So, you know, Absol comes out with like a bow and arrow. He's like the hunter, you know, and he comes out and he does his thing. I thought it was cool. Now, I kind of wish that Absol had more of a time when more fans were in, but I mean, fans are really coming for Kendrick and they're going to trickle in and tailgate. But I love Absol, and really, lyrically, he's one of the best artists in TDE, and that's saying a lot. And I just wish the crowd could have been more engaged. Almost like if, you know, they could have started him later or let Solo do some songs in between Kendrick's set. But Absol did his thing. Next up was J-Rock. And J-Rock is an older West Coast artist who, with TDE, really it helped his career, helped move his career along. and he's doing the dang thing. He has an album coming out very soon, I believe on the 15th. And same thing, he is, because of TDE's success, he's been elevated just a little bit. And got a little more recognition than Absol. Again, they're kind of putting him in an order of popularity, but he did his thing there and built up the momentum a little more. And after J-Rock, we have Schoolboy Q. And Schoolboy Q is the act that's going to lead you up to K-Dot. And he started off with a song with the bang, and he ended up with the song with the bang and kind of his two biggest hits or biggest songs, and then some things in the middle. So he really once he got on, people were starting to get more live and amped, and you really felt that hype up. What I like about these openers, this has the feeling of the tours that I missed because I was too young. So you had the Puff Daddy and the Family tour. You had these Rock the Mic tours, these Rockefeller tours. Now those are legendary and much better than this championship tour. But you know what? Our generation, well, my generation, I'm 27. These kids are like 19, 20 at the show. I felt old. But this kind of era needs that. And this was a great tour to have that. And these artists are really established. They have their niche fan bases, even though they may not be mainstream. So despite SZA not being there, it was nice to see these openers. Now we want to get to K-Dot and his set. One thing I like about K-Dot's set is it really got you everything that if you were a fan, if you've been following his rise, he highlighted a lot of his songs from the last 3 albums. So he has songs from Good Kid, Mad City, 5 of them. He has 2 from To Pimp a Butterfly. He has 1 from Untitled Unmastered, and he has 6 from Damn. So you really get to see, again, 5 from GCMC. To Pimp a Butterfly, it's really more of an introspective album that's meant for sitting at home. So yeah, there's only 2 songs that he did from that, and that's going to be All Right and King Kunta. And those are songs that are going to bang well live. But then he does 6 from Damn. So you get a nice spread from the newer material here. And that's what I liked about this. The set for Kendrick was dope. He comes out, you can check my video out for DNA, and it's high energy. He has like power lines behind him. And then it goes right into Element, which is it's a great, Element was meant for where it was put. That second song in a tour, it really gets you, all right, you come out with the bang, and then Element sets the mood. You see these great panoramic views of mountains and streams and land, and it's like the elements, you know? So it was really cool. He really has a double screen, so he has one screen that hangs low and one screen that hangs high, and together they make this overall panoramic photo of different things behind it. And they can be split too at times, but really it was a dope, almost like an IMAX feel, even though it wasn't an IMAX theater, for a song like Element. And then he comes out and he does a couple, he does Big Shot, and he does King Kunta, Untitled, and Goosebumps, and New Frieza. The first half of his set, he's really starting to, he's going to do some of his features on some of the more mainstream popular rappers that are more kind of the mumble rap, trap rap. And that gets people really turned up and ready to go. And they're like, oh, I know that song. Oh, I know that song. Oh, I know that song. So he really gets everyone going. And he's teasing. This is what you do with a great set. You're teasing your classic material and your best bodies of work. Then he gets into the swimming pools, the backseat freestyles. Goes back to a couple songs from Damn, as far as Loyalty, does the interlude to Lust. Then he goes back to Money Trees, and Money Trees was a highlight to me. I don't have the video because I was enjoying this. Money Trees is really dope live, and I thought it was the background of the trees with money and a little bit, it looks like what, fire. It was really cool. And then he goes into King's Dead, which is a song with J-Rock, Kendrick, Future, James Blake, and he brings out J-Rock, which is dope. For that. So that was pretty cool to hear that, because the Black Panther soundtrack is Kendrick dominated. It was nice to hear some of that stuff. If you went to the Damn shows last year, now you get a little bit of this latest Black Panther project, so it's a little more diversity. And he goes and he comes through. He does the bitch don't kill my vibe. All right, and humble. All right, X and humble to close out. And with X, the second to last song, he brings Schoolboy Q out, and he gets Schoolboy Q a little more shine. And I wish he could have brought Solo out for something there, because Absol deserves at least a song or something that him and Kendrick have done together on the main stage. I would have said that's one thing I would have improved. In Love, the song, a couple of songs prior to X and Humble, or 10 and Humble, because the X is for 10, he has the singer. I don't know if that was Zakari or if it was someone else, but it was nice that song, that's the ballad, that's the love song of the joint for who is a conscious rapper, Kendrick. He has that singer to back him up. So I thought that what I liked about this show overall, just to recap, I liked the team feeling of it, the themes of the teams. People came out in different things. Absol came out in the Hunter. Schoolboy Q came out in a golf cart as a golfer, had Tiger Wood backgrounds. J-Rock in between Solo and Q came out in a basketball kind of jersey and a hoop, and his mascot who dunked. Pyrotechnics go off. I like that. I like how they rolled everyone out one after one after one. The only thing in between was a couple little pump up songs. So they played a little of the new Kanye. They played a couple other hits. They played some classic stuff like Rough Riders anthems, but they mixed it well. They only played two different cuts, or they cut into two different songs, and the next person was up. I hate shows where it takes longer for them to come up, and that's what I like over hip hop compared to rock. When these rock artists come out, and I know it's different because you're playing instruments, it's hot, but some of the set changes take too long. Some of the set breaks take too long, and I just want to get through them. That's what I like about hip-hop shows, the few hip-hop shows I go to. And I like what Kendrick did with his screens and with all the stuff. Other thing I like that I didn't mention is the live band. Schoolboy Q had a live band for his music, and Kendrick does. I love this. Hearing the real drums, the hybrid of the backing track with the live band was awesome, especially for Kendrick and then Schoolboy. The other artists, they're lesser on the totem pole, so they just had their DJ or whatever. And the same DJ, I think, was doing kind of their stuff. But I like how they did that. Now, here's what I want to improve about this set. And if I was to say, hey, Kendrick, if he sat down with me and said, yo, what can I do better, dog? And even though that would never happen, here's what I would say. You got to get more Section 80 in. You got to get more Section 80. And I would like to also see more of the overly dedicated, because what he did is he went back and said, who's been my loyal fans? Well, he went back to 2012. He didn't go back to 2009, 2010 when he was on the come up. So to go back to Good Kid, Mad City, that was his mainstream album. So he didn't do it, even if it was just one song from Overly Dedicated and a song from Section 80. I would have loved that, because people like me who followed him back then, that's what I'm looking for. I know more of the Kendrick stuff from Section 80 than I do from Damn, from even To Pimp a Butterfly. I know Good Kid, Mad City, but I really don't listen to Kendrick as much as I used to when I was in college. So that's one improvement. And really, I wish that Kendrick could have gone a little longer. Again, adding some Section 80, adding some other stuff. It was a pretty quick run through of what you had for Kendrick, and he's the main act. And it would have been nice to incorporate, let some of your artists, when the lights go down, it's dark and it's 8 o'clock. I mean, it really should have started, Kendrick should have been on at 8:39. He got on at 9:30. It would have been nicer if certain artists had some time at the beginning. All right, you have Q, you have everyone solo do their stuff, and then they get spots in between, and that gives Kendrick a break. I wish he would have done more of a 2-hour set, or closer to 2 hours, just under 2 hours, and incorporated his older stuff and some of his boys a little more, so they could do stuff, because they have tons of features. And one of the things about these tours, these championship tours, they may do one a couple years down the road, but they're not going to do one next year. So to incorporate letting these artists do more songs together, I'm talking 3 or 4 songs together, Kendrick doing one with each of his artists, if not 2 with some artists, that's what you go to pay to see the championship tour for. Do your victory lap with the songs you're featured in. Because the thing about rap that sucks is you go to this show and you only hear one person live. Sometimes they have a guest, but it's frustrating. It will be dope whenever you see a festival and they bring out a guest artists, and these two rappers are going back and forth spitting, which we saw a little bit of in this Kendrick show or championship tour. I wish that was more kind of presented as one of the mainer things. Other thing I think that can improve on the pricing for this show. Now I know you're getting the whole squad, but the pricing was wilding out for the back of the back of the audience. Now I know the closer seats sell those for whatever, but Ticketmaster, it may have been Ticketmaster to be honest, but Ticketmaster was wilding with some of the tickets. And the reason I went by myself, I don't blame my friends. My friends that could go that day, that were in state, not busy, not on vacation, they didn't want to pay that amount because I paid. I was at the soundboard. I paid $100 after fees, but really the seats, well, 15 rows back were the same price ish, maybe $10 less. But the fees and everything were wilding out, and they did. I think they filled up this last minute. They upgraded some people, but the pricing was a little bit crazy for just Kendrick and then his crew. If it was Kendrick and Cole, you could have those prices, it would have sold out. But the tickets were still available up until the day of the show, and I think they upgraded people on the lawn, filled out pretty well at the end. But you know, this was a great tour. This was a tour I picked specifically because I don't go to a lot of hip hop shows. To me, my era is gone. When I was in college, I would go to a bunch of different club shows and arena shows. But now I just don't feel like going through traffic, paying for all this stuff to hear someone just on stage with little charisma. I like to see a presentation. And what Kendrick and his boys did was a presentation. You got a lot of different artists on one stage versus a lot of these hip hop shows is just the main artist. And really, it's not worth going into town for. This was worth it. I got everyone. I got to hear the vibes of people live for the first time that I had never heard perform live. And it was a great show. I highly suggest going if you are a TDE fan, if you're a fan of Kendrick. If you come see a city, check them out. And many of these shows still have tickets left. Now, the major cities like New York, I can't remember if I think they may be on the way to New York. Those are probably not going to have as many seats. But if you're going to a smaller market, Championship Tour is still rolling along. Check it out. It's your boy ConcertViz34. Other than that, I'm out. Definitely like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you for my hip-hop fans. Thank you for my jam band fans, my rock fans, everyone in between. I will have more jam band stuff, more Dave Matthews Band stuff on the way. I will have more rap stuff as the summer progresses because I'm going to be planning to go to other shows, hoping to go to see Cole this fall. And I may be looking at some other music in the hip-hop scene of things. It's your boy ConcertViz34. Again, I am out. Follow me on Twitter, by the way. Forgot about that. @ConcertViz34. Take care.